welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to an early start for the final day of Goodwood Festival of Speed. I am a zombie. I am absolutely dead. I have been here since Wednesday. It is now Sunday, and as brilliant and as epic as Goodwood is, it takes it out of me. There is so much to see, so much to do, and just so much ground to cover. I feel like the festival grows in size every year, and this year has been one of the best. Now, I kind of made the decision coming into this year's Goodwood that I wasn't actually going to make a video from the festival itself. I'm sure, as you have been made aware, or as you can imagine, with the number of YouTubers and media outlets that attend the festival, there's just so much content out there already. As I say, it's Sunday, it's the final day, and I know that there are already a million videos on the 488 Pista, on the Koenigseggs, on the I don't even know what, but yeah, so my plan was not actually to cover the festival. However, on Thursday, I had the incredible opportunity to drive Ivan the Volvo up the hill, something I will never forget, a truly special and hilarious moment. And thank you so much to all of you that sent me pictures and videos of that moment. It was incredible, and so I had to share some of that footage with you. Also, I did get a ride up in the 488 Pista that everyone else has been filming, and I've been using this car, the wonderful, yes, wonderful, Renault Megane 280 Cup, and I mean Cup chassis. This is the sort of top-rated Megane that you can buy today. It's got the manual box and, quite interestingly, four-wheel steer. This has been my chariot of fire, no, just my chariot, to get me to and from the festival each day. I've been staying with Michelin. I'm sure lots of you know, Paul and I work with Michelin pretty much every year for Festival of Speed, and we stay about 20 miles or so away from Goodwood itself, and we have this epic drive on this really scenic road every morning and every evening. Right now I'm following a coach, so it's not that exhilarating, but usually we are bombing it along here, and this Megane has, I think, been potentially the perfect bomb-it-mobile. When I first got delivered this car, I really liked the idea of it, but I actually wasn't bonding with it. The Cup chassis means that the ride is incredibly hard. It's so stiff. Now, when you're out on a country road like this and you're in sport mode, that's great, because you're just really hooked up. But around town and most of the rest of the time, it's just like, just jiggly joggly. Also, there's some just like slightly weird design afterthoughts that have made me sort of, you know, frustrated. For example, cup holders. You all know I'm a big fan of the Starbucks. They are positioned in a way that when you've got things in them, it's very hard then to use the gear lever because you're constantly knocking whatever's in the cup holders. Also, the sort of aircon and infotainment screen is just a bit backwards. The aircon can never quite decide what it's doing, and the infotainment screen is just a bit clunky. I find it quite hard to navigate. It's one of those things that's all touchscreen. All the manufacturers at the minute are going touchscreen everything. Oh, we're so futuristic, touchscreen. No, I want buttons. I need buttons, and in fact, my favourite buttons in this car are the dials for the air conditioning, because they're big and chunky, and they're pretty much the only dials in here. So yeah, that's me just being a bit of a dial nerd. But forget all of those sort of small and minor things. I think the rest of this car is mega. As I said, four-wheel steer. I can't think of many sort of everyday cars that have four-wheel steer that aren't £100,000 supercars. It's quite a sort of a weird sensation, and I'll be completely honest, I had no idea this car had it. So on the first day cruising around town, as I sort of turned left and right, I was like, wow! I mean, you notice it immediately because the car is so quick on the sort of secondary turn-in. The initial turn-in is normal, and then it just goes whoop round, and it's most noticeable at speed, but it makes this thing just dart around the corners. It does feel quick as well in sport mode. When you're not in sport mode, you kind of want to push on a bit, but the minute you get into sport mode, it's fine. But sort of 4 to 6,500 RPM, which I'm pretty sure is the red line. I'm looking now. Maybe it's just over 6,000 RPM. This thing flies. I mean, I'll do an acceleration now. That's cool as well. Shift beeps. Like in Formula 1, you get a little beep to know when to shift, just in case you're not aware. All the pedals, everything, the steering wheel's very nice. Actually, the seating position is fantastic. I really like these seats. Very sporty, hug you in, set you in nicely. And it just feels like a car that you want to drive quick, as all hot hatches do. I'm really trying to do more hot hatch content at the moment. I feel like ever since I sold my Abarth at the end of last year, I've kind of been missing the whole hot hatch vibe. So I'm so glad that Renault were able to lend me this car for this week, because it's sort of, you know, kick-starting not a series, but a sort of feature that I want to be doing of the newest and greatest hot hatches, because there seem to be so many great ones out there at the moment. It's, you know, every single day I feel like a manufacturer's coming out with a new super duper hot hatch, and this Megane RS I think has to be one of the best. Visually, I love it. I love the checkered flag fog lights. I think it's got a real stance to it. I'd be interested to see one that doesn't have the cup chassis, whether it looks sort of as mean and as planted. But yeah, I really like this car as an offering. Now, interestingly, the price could potentially be a bit steep. I'm not really sure. Let me know what you think. This car, as tested, is just over £34,000. So we're pretty much a step above what the Golf are, we're a step above the Focus RS, but we're obviously quite significantly below the RS3s and the A45s. Is that where it should be? I don't know. I don't know the Renault product well enough. It does feel good in here. There are a couple of little plasticky bits, but maybe that's to be as expected. But otherwise, everything else feels nicely premium, I suppose. So yeah, I'm not completely against the price point, but as I say, I'm not too familiar with this band or with the Renault product. So let me know below if you think that is too expensive for a Megane RS. But yes, it has been a fantastic car for the purposes that I've been using it this last sort of, you know, 10 days or so. I will be sad to see it go. I also love this colour because it makes the car very easy to find in the Goodwood car park, which is huge and very dusty because of the heat wave we've been experiencing. It's like driving through the Sahara Desert. This car is covered in muck and grime. I feel like I need to wash it before I hand it back to Renault, but it at least stands out. So we're on our way now, as I say, following a coach full of other Michelin people, which I probably should have. I messed up that timing a bit, didn't I? Probably should have tried to get ahead of that. Well, anyway, never mind. It's been a nice casual cruise this morning. And it's the final day, so I will catch up with you once we arrive at the Festival of Speed to bring you some footage of my final day, because it does feel a bit silly to not show you anything. So yes, anyway, onwards at a quite slow pace to Festival of Speed. Quite at Goodwood yet, so apologies for the interruption. However, I have lost the coach, and I want to quickly display this Megane at speed because it is an RS. It's not all about following in traffic, so here we go. Oh, I think it sounds good, and that was a shift beep, like in Formula 1. It beeps when you should shift at critical moments. I'm going to just let this Mercedes Viana come down the hill towards me. But yeah, the sound is a bit weird because it does sound quite meaty, but it does these weird, like, sort of burbles. Not like a Lamborghini bang bang, but when you lift off the accelerator at high revs, let's see if I can. Can't really hear it now because we're kind of giving it some, but it's these sort of slightly synthetic. Well, I think they're amplified in town, but yeah, this thing is just so goddamn quick on any little road like this. I mean, don't know where Paul Wallace is in his R8. Nowhere to be seen because I'm in the Megane. Woohoo! Anyway, I should slow down slightly because I'm getting a bit carried away. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive. And whilst I think maybe as an everyday car, the non-Cup would be more livable with because of the softer ride, I do still think you'd want a manual in it. I mean, do you not think all hot hatches should be manual? I'm not sure. RS3s and things at that level, fair enough, get the auto, it's just so damn quick. But when you're like this, I feel like it's a bit more engaging as long as the nothing in your cup holders. Anyway, now we are very nearly at Goodwood, so back to the original plan. See you in 2 seconds in a field. Quite possibly the best car in the performance car park, essentially the old supercar car park at the top of the public area, is this 911 Touring in dark green. I think this is oak metallic green, a Porsche colour. It's even got the houndstooth interior, the Porsche side logos. I'm obsessed, I'm in love. Bravo this man. now join me inside a Lotus, and not just any Lotus. This is the Exige 430 Cup. Gavin is my driver here. He, when I got in, he said, do we want fast and sideways, or sideways? I've asked for fast and sideways, so... I am dead! I've officially become a zombie. Goodwood has ruined me. It's been another amazing day in the sun. So cool to go up in the Lotus earlier. Awesome to find out the results of our Goodwood Michelin FOS challenge. Right now I'm gonna head back to London and sleep for many, many days. Well, that's a lie, actually. I've got lots going on this week. But anyway, I'm rambling, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm dehydrated. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I hope you've enjoyed finding out more about this awesome Megane OS. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.